even though it is New Year's Day. And it happens to be Freedom Friday as well, which is why I'm here right now. When the new year flips, and if you saw my Freedom Friday post, you noticed in there I use the term arbitrary construct, which it is when thinking in terms of, okay, we're going from one year to the next. Yes, that's what the calendar says, but it really is just another day. And just like tomorrow will be another day. And the idea came to me when I was writing the Freedom Friday post that every day can be like New Year's Day. The mentality that you have around New Year's Day, you can have that every day. It doesn't matter what the calendar says. This is what we're trained to do. This is how we're trained to think that just because one year ended, a new year began, that it's a brand fresh new thing and you kind of get a reset. This idea of the reset, the idea that, the calendar flips and all of a sudden something's changed. Like we're different somehow. We can choose to think that. And if you can choose to think that from December 31st to January 1st of any given year, then why can't you choose to think that on any day into the next day? Why wait? Of course, because we typically follow this calendar system, we have this mindset that something's really changing, and it is technically because of the calendar we follow. But from Thursday to Friday on any given day of any given year, it's still Thursday to Friday. We oftentimes wait until Mondays to start something new as well. Like we feel like it's a new day, it's a new week. I need to wait till Monday to do the thing that I want to do that I could have done on Thursday. These are arbitrary constructs that we put in our brain to tell us that we have to wait till something happens before we can do the thing. In all actuality, it could just be another way to stall. It could just be another way to procrastinate. Oh, hey, Ria. Thank you so much for putting your name so I know that was you. So it could just be another way to procrastinate because we like, oh, I have to wait to this day to do this thing when you could probably do it that day. So there's that. I asked the question in the Facebook group about New Year's resolutions. And many people posted that they'd make resolutions. Some people posted that they didn't, and they do things throughout the year because they don't want to do a resolution because they rather set it as a goal, or we use the word intention. It doesn't matter whatever word that you call it. Doesn't matter. But the idea that you would wait till the end of one year to do something in the next year, it's an arbitrary construct that you put on yourself. Probably even a limitation of sorts because you don't need to wait. The next thing is I am a practitioner of, a reader of, and I coach people through a book called 12-Week Year. Those of you who know me, you already know that because I've been doing that for several calendar years. Mindset that has to happen for you to live in a 12-week year cycle is very different than the mindset of a 365-day year. The whole concept is that you can say, I'm going to do X in 2021, which gives you a whole 365 days to do it. So typically what we wait and we stall until it's closer to the end of the year. And then we wake up and go, oh my God, I was going to do this thing. And here it is September and I've not done anything. When you live on a 12-week year cycle, you don't do that because every 12 weeks is a year in your head. Your brain goes into rebellion when you try to think like this because this is not how you've been trained to think. But it's possible. Just like you can imagine anything, you can imagine that a 12-week year is a 365-day year. And if that's the case, then how would you respond? What would you do every day if every week was a month? Arbitrary construct. You can just like children, imagine imaginary friends. Big deal. You can imagine that when you think about time and how you compress it. It's super cool and exciting that it's a happy new year because technically it is, right? We follow a calendar that says now it's 2021. And you can start this process out feeling like something's new and different and changed. But I would have you ask yourself, have you changed because the calendar flipped? I don't know the answer to that, but I have to ask myself that, right? As someone who, it's the new year for me too, right? So asking yourself those questions and having the time to think it through and do the journaling and do the writing and do the work that you need to do to really ask yourself, where are you at and what is it you want to do? You do not have to wait till New Year's Eve and New Year's Day to do that. You can do that anytime you want. You can do that every day if you want. You can do it once a week if you want. You can do it every 12 weeks if you want. But the choice is yours. You don't have to wait. So that's one of the things I wanted to share today on Freedom Friday, is that you have the freedom to not wait. And this quote that by Charles Kettering, he says, every time you tear a leaf off of a calendar, you present a new place for new ideas and progress. Every time you tear a day off, it doesn't have to be a whole brand new calendar for a 12-week or 12-month cycle. It could literally be every day where you can look at that day like New Year's Day. My message to you is look at every day like New Year's Day. No reason to wait. And think about how you can make changes that are sustainable beyond the first 2 weeks of January, which we all know that that's what happens with most New Year's resolutions. People joke about it all the time. We can set a New Year's resolution and then we're all gung-ho on January 1 because it's exciting. And then January 5th comes, and then 7th comes, and then 12th comes, and 15th comes. And we're right back to doing whatever it was that we were doing. Because it takes more than just setting this one intention at this one time in the year. It takes actually doing the work to define what your aspirational vision is and your statement of desire is, and behaviorally how that works. All of this excitement and joy for what's to come, the vision of the future, and all these different things that happen when it comes to New Year's. But I also want you to reflect and think, how are you going to actually accomplish these things? What is your system of execution? What date are you going to do these things by? Is it really, truly 12/31/2021? Or is it some other date? These are the things that I'm encouraging you to think about as you set your goals and your dreams and you look into the vision of the future that you want for yourself. Be specific. If you've heard of the SMART goal formula, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, or recorded, whichever you choose, and time bound. What does that really look like? And then think about what's going to happen towards the end of January when you started out this January. You started out feeling one way, and then now it's the end of January, you're feeling another way.